here. However, price did come back down, creating more liquidity here, equal lows. This is not a coincidence, guys. This is price engineers. The market engineers this on purpose. Comes back up, tags me in, and then we move away. Okay? Yes, gang. Hope you're doing well. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about how you can use something different as a liquidity target. And what I mean by that is, typically when we look for liquidity targets, we may look for equal highs, equal lows, trend lines. All right? But I'm going to show you how you can use smart money traps as a target in order to get your bias. All right. So this is a trade breakdown that I took on GBP USD. I hope you enjoy this one. It's a higher RR trade or high risk to reward trade. Learn from it, enjoy it, and I'll catch you soon. Let's start from the high time frame, as I always do, to give you guys a bit of context. If we go into the daily, you can see here that what price has done is create equal lows down the bottom here. And then we've given us a reaction from the equal lows, and then we've reacted from this high up here. Okay. Cool. So now we're kind of in between this range. But if you go down to the lower time frame, although that yes, they had the equal highs on the higher time frame, this wasn't what I was going for. I wasn't aiming. I don't necessarily trade for like really high time frame targets, but what I do like is going for intraday targets. All right. So as you know, I trade cycles, liquidity cycles, and if you look at this now, what we can see here is that we've had, if you look to the left, we've had this, I'm not going to super detail on this, but we've got the build up here. Then we had price give a reaction from here. All right, with the build up here, and then we had an inducement here of the build up. Price then went higher. All right, same again. We had a nice build up here. This is all on a 4-hour time frame, by the way. And then we had a nice inducement down here. Induced a low once, went higher, break structure, came back down, induced another low to give us our actual inducement, and it went higher. And then price induced to the high side here when it created this mid channel on the 1-hour time frame, and then induced the channel to the high side and then went bearish. But what you can see here also is what it's done is it's created the miniature channel just below this point of interest, or this just below this high. So price did come in, and price eventually took out this high, right? This for me, this is called my trap high. So if I look at this now, even before we get up to here, let's follow this story. So price has come down, giving us a reaction from this inducement low, traded higher. But as it's done now, it's also done similar things here, where it's created a trend line, giving us a nice build up here. Okay, this actually induced this high to the left, but just for argument's sake, you got all these highs as well. All right, but I'm not going into details of build ups right now. But price came down, induced the trend line, gave us an inducement low. Okay, then price traded away, and as it did that, as it's approaching this high into this high, what price done was created a nice channel, bullish channel into and induced the high, inducing my trap high into the point of interest on a 4-hour time frame. So from here, these are the weeks that I like to say that you want to be really involved in the market, because once this takes place and the price gives us this inducement here, it comes back and then mitigates the inducement here with this high around the 1 hour. Once price does that, and you've got this channel, which I see is liquidity to attack, and then you've got this down here. People might ask, why is this important? Is this not a point of interest? It's not a point of interest for me because yes, it's an inducement low, but then price has traded away and we've met the opposing liquidity target, which was this trap high. So once price comes back down, I would see this, and I saw this as a smart money trap. All right, so I expected this low to be induced or just taken out completely. So when you've got a clean target like this and you know where price should be heading towards, it makes trading throughout that trading week simple because you know your bias. All right. So if we go down to the lower time frames now, because there's opportunities for on each of these days, but even if I just quickly just show you on the 15-minute, you've got these cycles that are playing out, all right? Maybe not the cleanest channel here, but you got the cycles that are playing out. The channels induced to the high side. You got the internal channels here. Look here, it's not a coincidence. Channel, what? Look at that inducement of the channel. Price goes higher, induces the high here, and then price comes lower, right? And then it creates a new low here, right? And this is when I start getting interested in the market. I didn't catch anything up here. However, I knew what my target was in regards to the smart money trap, like I said to you. So this is where I was interested. I know I'm bearish, all right? I know I'm bearish. So now for me, it's just about finding, a place where I believe price could give me an entry or where price could reverse. So I've looked at this. We've now created a new low. Some people may think, because you've induced a low, are we now going to move higher? No, because this is just a new lower low. This is not necessarily an inducement of the low. You could say it is. The low is taken out, but I wasn't expecting a deep retracement. Those two things I was looking at here. One thing I was looking at was this. I was looking at this as a build up on the 5-minute time frame. Okay, I was looking at that. I was like, is price going to come up into this imbalance up here and do things that way, right? So I'll see, is price going to come all the way back up here into this? You just did induce this channel, tap into this, and then go lower. Is price going to do that? That's what I was asking. Or what I also noticed is this price down here had this high created during New York the previous day on the Wednesday, which had induced the high to the left. So with the way that I trade, I called this my strong high or a strong high. So I was like, this is a chance that because I'm bearish, this could hold. And look at what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a beautiful build up here as we approach it throughout, the end of play the previous day and throughout Asia. So if I'm seeing this now, I'm like, okay, this build up is beautiful. I've got the build up. I've got my potential, say, point of interest. Now I just want a bit more confirmation to see what price does throughout London. So let's see what price does. So yeah, that's my build up. All right. Cool. So first things first, I've got my 2 points of interest. Price could come down, come into Asia midline roughly, something in here, mitigate something in here, and then just fly higher into here. All right? Or price could just do something in here, give me my entry, and then we go from there, right? But let's see what happens. I'll press play. Cool. We're now going into, all right, so now we're in London Open. I'm on the 1 minute time frame for this one. We are now in London Open. And what did I say? So price came down just past Asia midline, but it's mitigated this demand zone here, giving a nice, probably Frankfurt Open entry, and could trade higher from this if I wanted to trade on the 1 minute time frame. However, I was bearish. That's what I was interested in on the day. I wanted something clean, tidy, nothing that I'm second guessing myself on. All right. So as price has done this, let's see what happens. Cool. This is nice so far. This is nice. Why is it nice? Let me explain why. Yes, price has come down. You've got the cycles in here. You even got miniature. That's a really bad channel. Apologies. So you've got this channel in here. You've got price coming down and inducing these lows into the demand zone, into this inducement low. This is an inducement low here. This is an inducement mitigation. All right. And then price moved high into my overall POI though. But what does it do? It did it with vector candles beautifully. Did it with aggression. Cool. And what else does it do? It has left also liquidity here on the 1 minute. These relatively equal lows. So everything so far looks pretty good. So I'm looking at this now. I'm like, okay, we've had an inducement of the Asia high. We've had, we've done it with vector candles, with clear aggression, with intent. And then now we've traded away. And this is now key timing window. It's now London open. So because of this, it's now I'm waiting for my entry model. I only use one, two, but mainly one nowadays. I no longer really use the break of structure stuff. But let's see what happens here. Cool, beautiful. This is now my entry model ready to go. So I've got my inducement high, which is up here. I've now got my trap high, which is up here. All right, so now for me, it's as simple as setting the limit here, stop loss above my inducement high, and then looking to target where I want to target. And for me, the target was overall down here. That was the overall target. All right. However, let me see how this planned out. I'm gonna say 4.5 pips stop loss. I don't think my stop loss wasn't as good as it should have been. I'm gonna explain why in a second. Press play. Cool. Tags me in beautifully. All right. Comes back down. But what happened was on my C trader, the feed was a bit different. So this high didn't actually take out this high. So I saw this basically create equal highs on my C trader, but then move away. As it moved away, I actually entered like down here, and it gave me like more of like a it wasn't 6 pips, but probably more like a 5.5 pip stop loss, rather than the better stop loss because of what happened here. However, price did come back down, creating more liquidity here, equal lows. This is not a coincidence, guys. This is price engineers, the market engineers this on purpose. Comes back up. It would have tagged me in if I just left my limit where it was, but I entered already, market executed here, tags me in, and then we move away. Okay, cool. So this is a great response. So what do we have here now? What do we have here? What we have here is potential. Some people maybe it's a POI, but for me, it's a smart money trap, but just on a lower time frame. So what happens here? This is where I personally recommend, if you're trading towards smart money trap, I like to take a partial, because from a smart money trap, you can get a strong reaction, which is exactly what happened here. Price comes back up. And then in this, what does price actually do? Is go on the 1 minute time frame for a second to give guys some clarity. All price does is gives a build up. Oh, goodness me. Price gives a build up. Even here, this build up. Inducement to the high side. This is actually just order flow. It's not the way I don't take entries like this, but it was order flow. Trades away. And this was actually a valid entry for me in regards to, because I still would class that as a trap high. And also you had another build up here. And then price went away. So this would have been this is a nice timing one as well. So another opportunity here, even better than the one that I took. But I didn't take this one because I was already in a trade. And then let's get to the nitty gritty now in regards to the higher time frame. Again, the opposing liquidity target had been met on the 1 hour time frame. So I did not expect this inducement low to hold. I expected it to be a smart money trap. And you can see here, price moves straight through. So with both entries, this one would have been more of a beautiful one. It's more of a ridiculously high RR trade, 37R. I'm not saying I would have held it all, but the opportunity is there. This one, however, more of a 23R trade. However, I did partial. So it was cool. It was more of a 15R type of trade rather than a 23R. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that one and you got some value from it. I'll catch you in the next video. God bless. Take care.